Jima Energy Ventures Sendirian Berhad, known as JEV, operates a coal-fired power plant situated on reclaimed land near the mangrove area facing the Straits of Malacca in Mukim Jima. On the 10th of August 2004, JEV, as the owner of a 2x700 megawatt coal-fired power plant, has signed the power purchase agreement with Tenaga Nasional Berhad. JEV will design, construct, commission, and subsequently operate and maintain the plant. The nominal capacity of 1,400 megawatts should be made available to TNB over a 25-year period. In the same year, a detailed environmental impact assessment was performed to study the impact the power plant would have on the environment. Thermal plume simulation, stack emission, and surrounding flora and fauna studies were among some of the assessments conducted throughout the year. By end year 2004, JEV has signed Jima O&M and Jima Technic, forming JOM-JT joint venture, as the owner's project management team. The team is required to manage and implement the EPC contract with the EPC contractor Sumitomo and Sumi Power Consortium. The contractors, headed by Sumitomo and Sumi Power Consortium, are consisting of three major Japanese companies, namely Taisei Corporation, Toshiba Corporation, and Ishikawajima Harima Heavy Industries. The EIA approval was granted by the Department of Environment, and soon after, works on the site commenced. Land reclamation work started with approximately over 3.6 million cubic meters of sea area, and this was sand dredged from the ocean. Prefabricated vertical drains, PVD, is part of the soil improvement works to ensure the stability of the reclaimed island. More than 11 million PVDs were installed. By the end of 2005, the site was ready for the turbine substructure works. In the year 2006, while the turbine was manufactured in Japan by Toshiba, the works on the concrete foundation for the boiler commenced at the site. The manufacturing of the subcritical drum-type design boiler started in 2006 and took about 8 months to complete. Within the same year, the excavation work for the cooling water intake channel was carried out. In preparing the team for future plant operations, JEV took the bold and unconventional move in recruiting fresh graduates and technicians. They were guided and supervised by a small team of experienced head of departments. They were recruited early during the project and were exposed to all aspects and challenges in operating and maintaining a coal-fired power plant. Therefore, a substantial amount of resources is allocated for human capital development. One of the best examples is through overseas attachment of these young engineers to establish coal-fired power plants known for their best O&M practices. The final height of the stack follows the requirements set by Department of Civil Aviation, EIA, and the design constraint for flue gas emissions. While generator transformers arrived from Japan and transported to the site, the generator rotor machining was being prepared at the Toshiba's factory, and also the main generator was ready to be transported via sea to the site. In the middle of 2007, the generator arrived and the offloading work commenced immediately. It was then transported to the turbine main building by a low loader and installed on base. Prior to the arrival of the generator, the construction of the main building superstructure continued. The jetty, which is 1.3 kilometers long, was built on natural depth without any dredging required. The jetty was designed to accept a minimum of 5,000-ton barges and up to 150,000-ton vessels. At the same time, the pulverizer was being installed at site. This equipment was a major part of the fuel system, where coal is crushed to ultra-fine powder form. While the turbine is being transported from Japan to the site by sea, the boiler steam drum arrived on the 12th of June in 2007. It is one of the most important, with approximately 30 meters in length and weighs 330 tons. It was lifted up to the top of the boiler structure, around 70 meters high. Then a ceremony was performed for the lifting of the Unit 1 boiler steam drum and was performed on the 3rd of July in 2007. The historic event was witnessed by Duli Yang Maha Mulia Al-Marhum, Tuanku Ja'far Ibni Al-Marhum Tuanku Abdul Rahman, the Royal Highness of Negeri Sembilan. The erection of the boiler event declared a major part and was a key milestone. JEV was also responsible for the execution of the transmission line. The Wayleave covered an area of 51 kilometers from the JEV power plant to the PMU in Lungeng and another 50 kilometers to the PMU in Olat Lempet. Before permission was given to start erection works, the contractor and the owner were requested to jointly implement a very challenging project. Besides special stringing methods and a timely permit to work obtained from the relevant authorities were required to proceed the work for the route where the highway and the railway cross. The Wayleave also covers rural areas, residencies and leisure facilities such as a golf club. After almost 2 years, the transmission line was completed successfully. The construction work on an interconnection facility and switchyard began in early 2007 and was completed by the end of the year under the supervision of the Taisei Corporation. Once in service, the design of the interconnection facility allowed for the operation over the normal operating range, voltage, stability and loading limits, and it is capable of handling load outputs of 500 kilovolts. With the interconnection facility completed, the back energizing was then to be performed to import energy from Tenaga Nasional Berhad's grid and supply the energy to the power plant. The electrostatic precipitator, or ESP facilities, were installed. During operation, these ESPs will separate the fly ash from the flue gas, releasing dramatically ash content to the atmosphere. The flue gas desulfurization, or FGD facilities, are equipped and designed to keep sulfur emissions below permitted levels. After almost 6 months and by the end of 2007, the generator rotor was installed at the main turbine building. In early 2008, the main turbine was installed on base by Toshiba Corporation team. It is a major piece of equipment that drives the generator using energy produced from superheated steam. Subsequently, the turbine rotor was installed to its position. The task was performed by highly experienced specialists from Toshiba, as it requires precision and accuracy to ensure an overall higher performance of the machine. Our 2 coal unloaders were shipped directly from China on barges and were rolled on rail at the jetty head, supervised by the ThyssenKrupp Fordentechnik, a contractor for IHI. And in the middle of the year of 2008, the first coal shipment arrived to Jima via tugboat called Mitra Jaya 1 and a barge called Mitra Jaya 2. They were anchored at the JEV jetty and unloading started shortly after it was cleared for unloading. The initial fire by using a light fuel oil was made on the 15th of May 2008 to initiate the commissioning and the testing of the power plant. Throughout the project, especially during the commissioning stage, JEV staff was assigned to work together with the EPC contractor in order to gain some valuable hands-on experience while ensuring an effective technology transfer. This had been one of the key strategic initiatives in the development of a young workforce, which had proven successful by the early completion of the project. The development of the 2 units of 700 megawatt coal-fired power plants started in 2004 with a PPA signing, and it took about 5 years for its completion and commercial operation by the year 2009. Throughout the 5 years, there were several major difficulties and challenges which threatened the project progress. They were, however, successfully resolved through close and strong cooperation between the owner, JEV, and the EPC contractor, SSC. Together with common commitment and aspirations, an early and successful completion was achieved on both units with 17 million safety man-hours accumulated. At midnight on the 1st of January 2009, it was marked as the Commercial Operation Date, or COD, for Unit 1. Likewise, COD of Unit 2 was achieved on the 1st of July in 2009. The plant is now capable of supplying the design capacity of 1,400 megawatts to TNB for the next 25 years. As of now, the JEV power plant was the latest coal-fired power plant constructed in Malaysia, with an advanced technology to discharge high efficiency of generation capability cum efficient control.